A little quick video to help with tonight's homework if you need it. Um, let's say you're making a prediction about how far your car travels. Then you test it out and you find that in a certain distance your car traveled, or over a certain time your car traveled 512 centimeters. How can you find out if your prediction was in the accuracy range within 5% error from that actual distance of 512 centimeters? In order to do this, you're going to need to find out what 5% error means. So if your car traveled 512 centimeters, the way to start figuring out percents, and you're going to learn this in much more detail and depth later on in this unit, but right now it will help to have a basic understanding. To begin with, it will be helpful to know if I said you can be within 100% error, let me just switch that color to black. Well, what would be 100%? If our car traveled 512 centimeters, 100% would be 512 centimeters. That's the whole thing. 100% means that entire value. So if your car traveled 512 centimeters, and I said you can be 100% off, you could be within 512 centimeters. We need to get that down to 5%. If you know 100%, 10% is like 1/10. So in the last unit, you guys practiced finding decimals of numbers. So 10%, another way to say that would be like 1/10. Or as a decimal, like 0.1. And this is something that you've just been studying the last unit, working within a base 10 system. So it's pretty simple. If you know 100% or the whole, it's pretty simple to find a tenth of that, or 0.1 or 10%. They all mean the same thing. And if our whole value, 100%, is 512 centimeters, then 1/10 or 10% would just be dividing by 10, 51.2 centimeters. To find 5%, now you need to think, okay, what's the relationship between 10% and 5%? Well, you should immediately recognize that 5% is half of 10%. 5 is half of 10. So if 10% is 51.2, then 5% will be half of that. In this case, you would have to do a little bit of division, but it really rounds to like 17. Wait, that's not correct. 51.2, 25, 25.6, 51.2 divided by 2. So because 5% would be half of 10%. So 5% error brings you to 25.6. So if your prediction was within 25.6 centimeters of that total distance, 512 centimeters, then you would be correct. So for instance, if you made a prediction that your car was going to travel 495 centimeters, if that was your predicted distance, and your car traveled 512 centimeters, that would be within the accuracy range because you're only 17 centimeters off. Within 5% error, you could be up to 25.6 centimeters off. So that is the way that you can start finding those accuracy ranges, and that should help on your homework.